G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. Well, I'm still on the Debian trail, and so I've done a couple of Debian videos. I thought while I'm on a roll I'll continue with an unstable install. So I was pretty impressed with the previous one where we had all the backports and that done straight up. So we'll do probably the same thing here. So actually I need to, I better remove this one. I forgot to do that. So we'll recreate that Debian one there. Okay, so that's that, and we better do a couple of things here. Mini ISO. Okay, that should be enough to get me going. So actually, one more thing we're going to do, I'm going to it was mentioned that, who mentioned it? Yes, Antec Designs said that you have to wait a bit longer for this to do UEFI. So we shall see that, we'll check that out. What are we, system is it? Okay, so let's try that one, see how we go. Yeah, I've waited 5 minutes and nothing's happening, so I don't think that's working at all. So we'll just, I think we'll shut that down. Let's just change that back to normal. And off we go. Advanced install, so that's, no, we need scale mode. Advanced options, expert install, choose language. I'm not sure if we can mouse this one, so we're going to have to press enter. Australia. Yep, that one there. And we'll just continue that. There's a tab key. We don't want that. We don't want that. Detect network hardware. Continue. Configure the network. Auto configure. Yep. That's 3 seconds. Yep. Debian vert, will do. Tab key, enter. Domain name, tab key, enter. No domain name there. Choose a mirror. HTTP. If unsure, select HTTP. That's what I normally select. Enter. And it's Australia. Enter. And I'll go for the RNet. It's been working well for me. Enter. Don't need a proxy, so tab key, enter. Okay, so this is the difference here. You get to choose, with the Mini ISO, you get to choose stretch, buster or testing, and SID unstable. So you get to choose them all and you download everything from the internet. So I'm going to go for the unstable one. Download the installer components. Okay, I haven't really gone through this list, but if you want to pause and check out what this is, I don't know what it all is. Squash FS modules, speak up modules, sound modules, so maybe that's for things that you may need. I find it works fine without selecting anything there anyway. Tab key, enter. Set up users and passwords. Yes for a shadow user. Allow login as root. No. Full name. This is the real name. My real name. Tab key, enter. And I like to go with just Colin, enter. Choose a password. Tab key, enter. Re-enter the password. Tab key, enter. Configure the clock. And we'll use that. Tab key, enter. Western Australia. Detect disks. Partition disks. Go for the manual. And that's our disk there. Create new empty, tab key, yes, MS-DOS. Free space is there, so we'll create a new partition of 1 gig for swap. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Oops. 1 gig for swap, tab key, enter, primary, beginning, use as swap area, bootable flag off, done setting up, and then we go to the free space and enter, create a new partition, tab key, enter, be a primary, enter, uses that, and that's already set up. Mount options, defaults. Do we need a bootable flag on that one? That's our, yes, I think we do actually. So we'll turn that on. Because we're doing DOS, so we're not doing UEFI, so we can just do a bootable flag on the root partition where it's installing to. So we're done setting up. Finish partitioning. Tab key to yes. Write the changes to disk. Yes. Let's do that. Install the base system. Off we go. So just while the base system is getting installed, I just thought I'd tell you where I'm up to. I had the Debian stable on my laptop. Cannot get NVIDIA installed. I tried Don Henson has mentioned a couple of things, but what I did was I was meant to stop the X server, which I tried LightDM, and yes, I know it's GNOME, so it doesn't have LightDM. I'm pretty sure it's GDM3. So as usual, I started up and it won't log in. It gets to the login screen. I type my password and then it just loops back to the login screen again. So that's what typically happens when you do NVIDIA anyway. He says that my card is an Optimus card, so I've had a look at some of the instructions on that. Looks a little bit confusing. I don't really need NVIDIA card running on here. My needs are very small. I don't worry too much about gaming and stuff. But I'm gonna install this one on VirtualBox, see how we go. That should come, hopefully this comes up pretty well. Then I'll do it on hardware and we'll follow up the hardware on after this video here, like I did with the previous. And then I'm going to try stopping, so I get to the login screen, drop down to TTY, log in, and then stop the GDM or the X server, and then try and install NVIDIA after that. So, okay, we've got a lot of choices here. I don't know, unsign, no, we don't want to unsign one, so we'll go for this one here, I think. Although it defaults to this one. I'll just take the top one, it looks good. It's got lots of numbers on it. And we'll include all drivers. That'll do. Configure the package manager. Use non-free software. Yes, we'll do that. Tab, yes. Enable source repositories in apt. Yes. Lovely. That's what we want. Looking good so far. Select then install software. Now install security updates automatically. I think that was a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Makes sense anyway. Participate, no, not in the usage survey, no. And I shall go for the GNOME, and that's about it. Don't need much else. Tab key, enter. Okay, so we have English keyboard layout, English US, enter. Right, so install the grub bootloader on hard disk, enter. Install the grub bootloader to master boot record, yes for that one. And the dev SDA, yep. No, because I'm not running EFI, so I don't want to force grub installation to EFI. I do that, I select that yes when I'm doing an EFI install and finish the installation. Yes. Okay, let's enter to continue. So let's log into there. So we'll go to Synaptic to start with. No Synaptic package manager. It's interesting. Okay, do we not have Synaptic Manager on? It looks like we don't. It's interesting. No Synaptic Package Manager in the unstable install. Okay, maybe we don't have a problem with the CD-ROM issue. I'm not sure. We'll try that. Okay, so let's do an apt sudo apt update. There's always little surprises in Linux sometimes when you expect something and it's not there. All packages are up to date, so that should be right. So maybe we don't have to worry about the CD-ROM. No, we don't, because we did a net install, didn't we? That's probably why. So let's try sudo apt install build essential, and this time I'll type it correctly. Oh, I was meant to do them all in one hit. Forgot about that. I wanted to do all them in, I'll do the next two together. That was just a habit then. Force of habit. And we shall do module assistant. And DKMS. And let's install those two. I could have done all three in one hit. Would have worked out fine. It's because dopey me keeps putting in spelling things wrong or missing out a bit of a dash here and there. Okay, so at this point I want to restart. So let's do that. Now I might try on the unstable. I may just try installing the guest editions the normal way. I don't think that'll work anyway because it just doesn't work in Debian, but you never know, you might be surprised. Okay, so we've installed SID on with the Mini ISO on VirtualBox. That's been a few days since I've done that because I've had some issues and I've been trying to install also the Tumbleweed with the BigDaddyLinux live challenge. So I've had a few things going on but really haven't been posting any videos. So what's happened here is I've tried to install SID with the Mini ISO here on this laptop, my Toshiba laptop, but I didn't have much success at all. So now didn't like my EFI for some reason. So now I'm just trying to think back to what happened. So so what I thought I'd do is I've shown you how to install SID with the Mini ISO on VirtualBox. Couldn't do that with the laptop. I think it was I think it doesn't boot, I don't think, or it wouldn't start. I think it wouldn't boot from either the USB or after install. I can't remember now. It's been a few days and I've been messing around with so many distros. I've forgotten exactly what happened. So this is how it's gonna work. I've installed stable because that has no problem with EFI. So the stable version installed no problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, I've done this before because I was running stable on here before and I updated it to SID. So this is the website in which I was looking at, and I followed this and this seemed to work all right. So if I, let's see, open with nano, I'll open the sudo nano etc apt sources.list. Now let's have a look at this one. Let's go full screen on that. It's actually let's move that to another workspace and go full screen, and then we can come back to the other one whenever we wish. So we've got here the stretch main non-free contrib and the stretch updates, which is here, stretch updates, stretch backports. So what's going to happen here is we change the main one to SID, which is here, and the other ones we keep on stretch. So that's what we're going to do. And let's have a look here using my RNet one here. So this one needs to be changed to SID. Let's do that. SID. Now the backports, we don't need backports when we update to SID because we don't need to get the most up-to-date software because SID does have the most up-to-date software. So backports are irrelevant in all of this. And it recommends to keep the stretch updates and stretch security. So that's security. Let me have another look at that one there. And if we could zoom that in a little bit. So Debian security and Debian. Debian security and Debian. So those two remain on stretch. That's what they said is the best way to do it. And I have tried this once before and it works okay. So I'm going to do that and then we'll see how we go. So, and remember backports are irrelevant in this. So I'm going to Control O to save, Enter to save it, and then Control X to get out of there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run, I need a terminal. We're going to run sudo apt update. Put in my password. It's going to run through all that and update the repos that I've just changed, or the sources. Right, now it's telling us that 1355 packages can be upgraded. So let's go full screen on that, and that's view, Control plus and that one. Oh, that's not working too well, is it? All right, so 1355 packages can be upgraded, and we'll run upgrade to do that. Now, I don't know if this affects my video or not, but what I'm going to do, sudo apt upgrade. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll probably stop the video for that, because I'm not sure whether that's going to mess up simple screen recorder or not as it goes. But you guys will see what's going on there. I'll start it, and then I'll have to come back when it's done. So there we go. There's all the updates, and it's going to run through all that, and it's going to upgrade everything to SID. Now, I haven't had any problems or errors since changing the sources list to SID and leaving the other ones with the stretch. So that all looks good. So I'm going to go yes on that, and I'm going to start the upgrade. So there's been no errors there, no problems, and I'm pretty sure that's how I done it last time. I'm fairly confident of that. So I just thought, because I can't install SID directly because of EFI issues again, and that's an incompatibility with my EFI, my EFI as opposed to the Mini ISO. I don't know what the difference is there, but the stable one installs no problem. So I think it was, I can't remember whether, I'd have to probably run that Mini ISO on here again to find out what that problem is. I can't remember what it was now, but this is, it's probably a good experience for people to know how to do this manually anyway, if they're interested. So I've got both ways of doing it, on the VirtualBox with the Mini ISO, and which installs SID Direct, and also on the laptop here running Stretch Stable and updating to SID manually through the sources.list. So that should be more than enough information to get people going if they're interested. And we'll see what happens after this update. Now I've probably got this will run for a while, although it looks like it's updating quite quickly, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so we get this long drawn out thing here, app list changes and the news and all that. So if you just download, if you just if you just scroll to the bottom and press Q to quit, and then it'll continue on. So this mini SSDP daemon configuration is will not function correctly until it's configured. Is a daemon used by mini UPnPC. I've never used that before. I don't know what that's really all about. For security reasons, it's not out of the box by default. No out of the box default configuration can be provided, so it requires manual configuration, so we'll just press OK. We've got no other choice really there. Choose this option if the daemon should start automatically. I'm just going to go no on that. And just tab that to OK and press OK, and off we go. I'm pretty sure that's what I did last time. So this will restart any services that are shut down due to install or upgrading. So this is asking, do you want to restart them without asking? And yes, that'll work for me. Okay, so we've had an error code come up. Not sure what that's all about. While processing CA certificates, so I'm not sure if that's crucial to what's going on here, but I'm going to reboot and see what happens. Right, so we've come across an issue with a problem with the CA certificates, as you would have seen in the video there. Let's have a look. Now, so everything didn't install, it was still running on stretch. So I changed it, nothing updated, let's put it that way. So I've done a bit of search on the certificates, because first it's key rings, now it's certificates. So I'm thinking that because I've updated to SID, what I did was I changed it back to stretch. Let's have a look at the let me have a look at this here. Start with. So I changed this back to stretch and did an update just to make sure. Then I did the certificate thing, and that was fine, all was good. So I changed it back to SID, just this one here and this one here. And so SID there, kept everything the same, did my, what is it, update, did an update, and then I did, where is it, this one here, sudo update -ca certificates space -- fresh. That seemed to have sorted the certificates out, and then I ran the, after I did that, I did update, sudo apt update, and then I did dist upgrade. I think I did both of these. I think they're both the same. They work both the same. Dist upgrade or apt upgrade. It's the same thing. And then once I dealt with the certificates, it all upgraded. So I'm now running, let's see, let's have a look. I haven't really had a look at all this before, prior to recording. So we're on Linux Buster SID. And I think the problem here is, I don't know whether they're slowly changing over. I'd like someone to make a comment. I just struggle with the Debian side of things. I believe SID, the name SID does not change, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that it stays SID all the time, or does that change to Buster? Is Buster the next unstable? I'm not 100% sure about that. If someone could comment, I'd really appreciate that. So we're using GNOME 3.30.2. If we go to one of the Libre offices, you can see that that is updated. You can tell by the splash screen already that it's updated. It's probably the first run, that's why it's taken a little bit of time. So 6.1.5.2, and also if we have a look at GIMP 2.10 help and about 2.10.8. That's cool. I don't know why they use this one as default. I'm not really keen on that default look. It's a bit of a strange one, but because it's what do you call it? Icon theme, symbolic. Yeah, that's the one. So you can go to color, and you can in the theme you can probably go light or grey. Light. System theme. Bit bright, I think. Dark's not too bad, so we'll keep it on that. Okay. So that is, I didn't happen to catch, didn't record myself with the CA certificate. So I was getting a little bit frustrated because I keep all this week with Debian, and between Debian and Tumbleweed, I've hit nothing but brick walls. It just kept coming to a stop. So that's why I haven't pretty much uploaded any videos this week, because I'm just trying to get over the hurdles that I keep running into all the time. I'll just run through that again. We did the SID upgrade, and as you see earlier in the video, it came up with, there was an error, CA certificate, so I just had to update those CA certificates on SID, I think. I went back to stretch, and I changed it back to stretch and went back to SID again. Did the certificate upgrade in SID, or the fresh, or whatever it was on here. So sudo update dash that command there. So and that seemed to have sorted out the problem with certificates, probably because I upgraded to SID. The certificates must have been still pointing, or whatever they do, to stretch maybe. So I had to update that to SID. I would say that's what that was all about. And then, yep, did the update to make sure that it recognizes the certificates, I believe. And then I did the upgrade. And here we are running on SID. Now there's one other thing I want to go through. So this one here, if we go to the mirror list, and my recommendation was you go to your country first, and then it was dists, and then unstable, so what I did, this actually I forgot to tell you, this one here is running the 3.7, which I think I have not mentioned yet, so I might just put you'll probably see me put something up. This is Debian 9.7, this is. So what I did with the virtual box was I did, instead of going to unstable, which I have clearly said here, I went to the 9.7, and then you can follow those through, because where are we? Main, install AMD64, current, images, netboot and Mini ISO, and there it is there. So that was the 9.7, I believe I did in the virtual box. I think it was anyway. So that's what I've installed here, was the 9.7. Actually, no, sorry. The VirtualBox ISO was 9.7. This one here was the installed with the stable. I think it was 9.6, I believe, and then I upgraded to SID. So that's what I did. It's been a long week, and I've been doing this video over about a week, so I've been forgetting exactly where I was in the video. But so what I'll do is I'll put this back in the show notes for this video, and I will change the unstable link. Should be the Debian 9.7. So I think it was a week ago today that I was installing the Mini ISO on this laptop. So I've been distracted with the tumbleweed all week and trying to do NVIDIA installs on this laptop as well, which I was getting nowhere with. And from memory, I'm just trying to remember, I installed the Mini ISO on here, and I think my issue was it did not boot. So I was forced into having to install stable and then adjust the repos to get myself to unstable. So I wanted to do the install like I did on the VirtualBox, the same as on real hardware, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And I'm pretty sure it was the EFI problem, I think. So my memory has escaped me on that one a little bit, but I'm sure it was the booting that I was having an issue with. So I had to install stable, which I knew worked anyway. So I downloaded the new 9.7 and I installed the new 9.7 point release. The 9.7 point release. So and then I updated that to SID. So I thought we have the VirtualBox to show you how to install the Mini ISO, which you probably can do on other machines, and I might try another machine to see if it works on my other laptop. I think just to be sure that it is this laptop that's the issue. I might try that somewhere in the future. Not right away anyway. And I just thought I would have a look at, and then I show you how to do it from the repository point of view and how to update from the repository. So I thought it's probably, I used the fact that I failed with the Mini ISO on the laptop. I used that as a positive to get to show everybody the other way to get the unstable SID installed rather than just going direct from the ISO. So that's become a positive out of that. So so that was how that worked. And also the 9.7, I just had a look around in that to see whether there was updated software or anything, but I think it must be like a security release or something, because the software I think was all the same. So but now we're running more up-to-date software on the unstable branch. So I might run this for a while. I may have to reinstall because I'm going to try installing NVIDIA again, and I'll probably let everyone know the results of that. And I think what I have to do is I have to kill the GDM, I think it is, or stop the GDM service before installing, before I install the NVIDIA. So I'm on that trail still, and I've probably got to refresh my memory again on how to do all that. So that was Debian install on VirtualBox with the Mini ISO directly to unstable, and also on real hardware from stable to unstable. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.